What's up, everybody? It has been a while since we've had any updates on my Lexus IS300 wagon, and it's getting there. It's getting really close to completion. Put it on the back burner for a little bit just because business priorities and other things. And I mean, in general, it's just been pretty busy. So making the trek over there today, that 1 hour drive to the body shop. Told me to go check on the car today. It's getting pretty close. I think they're putting the final touches on it, putting the glaze on it. The paint is like it's a little worrisome for me because it's almost too nice, where the whole car looks like a mirror now, and that means I have to put extra effort into taking care of it. And I don't know how I feel about that yet, but the car is gonna look really nice. It's nice to finally get the car back. Whenever I get it back, probably end of this week. Start putting parts on there and overhauling the suspension and stuff. But I'm glad to have it back finally, so we can finally get to work on it. I was trying to get it done before the summer so that we didn't have to put that much work into it in this heat that we have. But we'll do, I mean, it'll just be, I guess, not as fast a pace as we had wanted to do it at. But the car will still get put together, and then over the next few months, we'll probably get more updates on all the stuff that we're doing to the car. I imagine the car is gonna look pretty good when it's done because I've had everything for it. The only thing that I'm waiting for right now that's not in my possession, other than the car itself, is seats. So I have Ricardo's coming. I don't know when they're gonna come. The way the containers, the shipping and everything is going on right now globally, it's kind of a mess. So we'll have to wait and see when those come in. I have to get the rear seats reupholstered to match the rest of the interior door panels, like the Qualitat door panels and the Recaro seats. So that'll be interesting to see if we can get that to match. And then yeah, we're gonna start getting on a pretty good roll, I think, in terms of getting updates on that car. So it should be good. I'm gonna check on it right now just to see if there's any changes that need to be made or if there's any adjustments. But I think we're good. I think they know they have a pretty good idea of what they're doing, so I trust them. And I have to remember all the parts that I brought there because I don't want to forget anything when I do get the car back, and I have to make sure everything's on the car, and whatever extra stuff that I have, I need to take it back because I actually have 2 sets of side skirts. I don't know why. I needed a black set, so I went and bought a black set so I can rock them on the car before the car was painted, and now I'm stuck with 2 sets, so probably flip the other set later. But anyways, yeah, I gotta get back to driving. What's left?
Just slapping it together. That's what's left.
Cover it?
Yeah, cover it, man. I don't know if Joey's ready for this though, bro.
I'm not, because I gotta take care of it now when it's done.
Oh, this shit like a mirror.
Yeah. Ooh. Ah, look at that. It does look way better without the side moldings too.
Dude, that was badass.
It's like black chrome.
Yep.
Sick.
That's not even polished.
Yeah.
So you gotta get the last coating of polish and it's all together. We'll do the last of the swirl mark removal.
Yeah, it looks great. Did you already do the mirrors and stuff? Or
that stuff's getting ready to be painted with all the side skirts.
Oh, okay.
Side skirts, I had to redo the front bumper. All that stuff is shot tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks great. It's crazy.
So you get that? You get that?
Oh yeah, you're wearing the shirts.
You get that, huh?
Yeah, it looks great. Literally like a mirror.
Dude, wait till it's all together, bro. It's gonna pop even more.
Do you still have my wiper delete? It's in there somewhere, right? Nice. Yeah, so it's just all the trim pieces and the bumpers and stuff, and then that's it, right?
Pretty much handles, bumpers, anything else, that's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. We got left on it.
Just final polishing and stuff?
You see the little, every tiny swirl mark, you see it on the sun right now?
Yeah.
That's from the plastic and the we'll do it one more polish and we're done.
Like, how long do I have to wait for it to get it like ceramic coated or whatever?
You can do that tomorrow, man.
Oh, really? Yeah, because it's been painted for a while.
Like fucking almost a year.
Yeah. But the bumpers and stuff don't matter, right?
No, it don't matter.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It don't matter. You have a guy that does ceramic coating or what?
Yeah, I have a guy. I have a friend that works at a place that they do all that stuff.
Serious?
Yeah.
What's the charge?
I don't know. I don't want to know. We'll find out.
You won't need to, bro.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
You won't need ceramic coating on this thing.
Yeah, I just don't want to fuck it up, you know? But yeah, once everything's on, the whole car is going to look different still. So it'll look good.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is going to be straight.
Oh, yeah.
Trim.
Yeah. Yeah, that piece was pretty faded, that's why.
And this is already set this on the sun.
Oh, the roof rails? Yeah, the one on the driver's side used to always pop off. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I gave you the clips for them, but I don't even know how the fuck that shit goes on, dude. Yeah, it's so weird how it just slides in.
You have to do it from the rear. Slide all the way in.
Alright. Sick. So I'll see you at the end of the week then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let me know.
Alright, bud.
Keep me updated.
Thank you, man.
Later. Later, Johnny.
Johnny.
So you heard it straight from the horse's mouth that the car should be done by the end of the week. Friday or Saturday, we shall see. Just like minor things here and there. The bumpers haven't been painted yet. They're gonna get painted tomorrow, I think. My mirrors need to be re-cleared, and just mostly reassembly after that. So hopefully this weekend we'll get the car back, and then we can start throwing some more stuff on there when we get back to the shop. We'll see. Now I'm just sitting in traffic again because it's rush hour, so it takes like 2 hours just to get back to the shop to get back to work. So, spoiler alert, I didn't get my car back yet. He said Friday, Saturday. It's been like 2 weeks. Should be done this week, hopefully. Sounds like it. From what I've seen, it looks like the car's back together now, so that's nice. But yeah, anyways. Today is gonna be one of those take you to work kind of videos. I know I haven't done many vlogs lately, just because we haven't been doing anything at the shop. And I've been in my office every day just trying to work on my book, my third book, trying to finish that. But Utah's been out of town. Dirt hasn't been working on his car because it's too damn hot at the shop. So we've just been going out and like hanging out at places here and there and just kind of focusing on living life. So we haven't done any video stuff. The last couple of meets I went to, I was just focused on doing photos just because when I'm in like book mode, I like to, it's like a musician being in album mode where they just want to make music and they don't want to do anything else. So that's why I've just been focusing on photos lately, and there haven't been that many videos on YouTube. Hopefully we'll get back on track when I get my car back, and today we're going to have a pretty cool one because today is going to be the next installment of the Meguiar's series that I've been working on. You guys saw the 80s and 90s, and today we're going to be shooting the 2000s era. But instead of doing like what's expected of the 2000s era where everyone just thinks it's like mid 2000s, so it's all about just like really Japanese inspired, like JDM Hondas, you know. We're gonna do something different, and I'm gonna take it to the early 2000s era, and so it's gonna be kind of like connecting what I just did with the 90s one, and a quick transition over to early 2000s, late 90s, during the import tuner era. So that's one of my favorite eras. That's one of the things that got me into magazines and shooting in the first place, what led me into the industry of doing freelance photography and writing for magazines. It's because I loved import tuner, and you know, my favorite cover all time is probably the LJ Garcia Feels wide body EK with Francine D in the cover. That is all time for me, you know, and that was a huge point of inspiration for me when I was a kid. So I'm gonna try to do something similar to that. I have the perfect car. Like, I couldn't have found a more perfect car unless I physically had LJ's car, and I don't know where that car is these days. The last person I heard that had it, either he passed away, or I don't know if he sold the car before then, but the car is not complete anyway, so I wouldn't be able to use it. And it wasn't the dark blue that it was before anyways, so it wouldn't be the same. But anyways, yeah, I've been putting this together for a whole month. But even when I first started doing this Meguiar's project, the first theme that I thought of was doing the 2000s one, and it's this one. So this one is a big one for me. I had to call in an old friend for a favor. I haven't, like, we just started speaking together again recently. I haven't seen this girl in like 5 years maybe. But you know what? I needed some help, so I'm gonna call in a favor and have her step in and do me a solid and get in on this import tuner style shoot. I think it'll be fun. It's hot. Hopefully it doesn't drain anybody from putting out their best efforts today at the shoot, and we're gonna see how it goes. I think it's gonna be a good one. I love the 90s one. I think the 90s one was some of my best work, just in terms of level of detail, how to articulate a theme, and how to colorize everything correctly. Just all the technical aspects of that shoot came out like money, you know, and I love that shit. So this one is going to be a good one, and I hope that this one is even better than the 90s one. So we shall see, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. I'm going to bring you along for it, to the ins and outs, and hopefully I'll try to film as much as I can on the in-between times when I'm not shooting. So let's do this. So this is Sean Stell's EK. He's had this thing since 2001, so it's very interesting that this car still exists and a car enthusiast like Sean still exists. He drove all the way from Manhattan Beach for this shoot, so deeply appreciative. And then he has these C5s on there, as most people remember a Feels EK would have. He's gonna throw the back ones on, and then we're gonna lower the car a little bit. How hard is it gonna be to lower this thing? What kind of suspension are you on?
Shouldn't be bad. It's on Tame Super Street.
Oh, okay, so you just turn the body?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the bumper off because it takes 2 minutes and it'll just be easier.
Yeah. This is gonna be super interesting. Their rear is molded too, just like you would do it back in the early 2000s. The wing, got a feel seat in there. Sean said he used to daily drive this thing every single day.
Yeah, for like 12 years.
Sounds like a headache, dude. But you were a kid then, so it didn't matter.
Definitely not with the Feels bumper though. That was like for 4 or 5 years, and then
Oh, you have a J-Blood bumper too, right?
yeah, that's more recent though. I had like, I mean, dude, after 20 years, you can imagine. I've
Yeah.
been through some phases with this thing. So it had like, it had the Feels bumper originally, and then it had like the R34 style or Octane, whatever they call it.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
actually
Damn, all
pretty
right.
good with the kit, but
Yeah.
it's totally ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
And then I bought that J-Blood probably like 5 to 6 years ago,
Oh, okay.
which flows really good with the kit, so that's why I did.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, oh, it kind of looks good because it's so big. That's why it's a bulky
that lip
bumper.
on that thing is huge.
Yeah.
And it fits like the shape of the lip on the bottom really fits the rest of the kit.
Yeah.
Originally, that's why I did. Plus, that bumper needs to sit in this much further.
Yeah. So you're just not destroying stuff.
Yeah, you can drive it. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't drive it. I'm taking this off as soon as I get home.
Yeah. Also cut some stickers just for the shoot too, so we're gonna throw those on later. It'll have like a real throwback look once we get all the stickers on there. It's hot as balls out here, so I have an umbrella while I watch Sean stand in the sun. Sick. All the stuff fits inside your car, huh?
Yeah, dude. Hatchback. It's like a truck. You know, last minute, I was trying to put the C5s on the rear today, right before I came, and the spacers weren't working with it, so
yeah,
it's like a last minute decision to switch them up and just throw them in the trunk.
Yeah, especially if we had to take the wheels off. I mean, we had to lower the car anyways.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
So it'll be easy.
Yeah, let's see how easy it is in 90-degree weather.
That's probably the annoying part, but
I was like, we could do it. They don't really let you do anything inside a photo studio. Oh, well, you know that. So.
I don't know if the floor is painted or not. Usually if the floor is painted, they won't, because then you
have
a bunch of marks,
it's
you know?
definitely painted, and then like you gotta wear like shoe booties and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so while Sean is over there lowering his car, here's a look at the studio that we're shooting at inside. It comes with this infinity wall. There's another name for it, but I forget what the actual name of it is. I always know it as infinity wall. Yeah, we rented this studio, found a pretty good deal on it. Has like a hangout area, vanity mirror. It's a full dressing room in here. And office, bathroom of course. But yeah, pretty cool spot in Orange, California. Gonna get the car in here, and then once the talent shows up, we'll figure out how to shoot everything. So this is our final setup here for the day. Car's all set up. As I mentioned, I brought in an old friend to do me a solid for this. You look different.
I do.
Like, what happened? like, I can't tell. What's different about you?
It's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years, yes. to get all the period correct details on here. The Racing Heart C5s. So I'm also wearing no shoes, even though the infinity wall is already dirty. But we gotta have the speed options detail in here too. So going for the very period correct look. And I think we nailed it.
Normally with the intake you can line it up right with the hose, and I have like a nice coupler for it, but the group goes down. Let's not right there. Oh, just so it's perfect if you have like a headlight duct. Yeah, exactly. It's like made for a headlight duct.
So 4 hours later, sheet's done. Hot as hell today. Dur stopped by after work just to hang out for a bit. Sean's putting his car back together. We're raising it 3 inches.
Hey, it's an inch.
Overall, pretty successful. Thanks to Jen for coming out. Had to pull her out of retirement, get her back in the game for a little bit, you know? But everything worked out. Hopefully when I get back to the shop, go over the photos, everything looks good, because stuff's kind of due in like a day or two and I gotta get it up online. So I'm hoping I think everything turned out good. From what I saw and from experience, I think I'll make it work. Just I haven't shot studio stuff in such a long time, so we'll see how it goes. But tired, burnt out, sticky, you know how it goes. B18C? C1?
C1 Type R internals.
How long has the engine been in here?
The head was from my original B16. It was in here like 2005 or something.
Oh shit.
And then the block I just rebuilt with Jacob at Import Life.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, he goes to Import Life. The shop that was like the old shop.
Yeah, it's all pretty new. I think it's like, I've only changed the oil once on it since the rebuild.
Oh.
But I was telling Dur, my tranny just started whining after I was beating on it, so
I
gotta look at that now, which sucks. But it has the 4.785, whatever that means.
Yeah, okay.
It's decent. LSD, I mean, that LSD is like crazy sick, but it's better than no LSD. Yeah.
Got a custom titanium intake arm in here. Feels strut bar. Feels header that's currently missing some hardware. It just kind of backed out, I guess.
Yeah, on the way here, crazy.
Damn, dude.
Super annoying.
It's Group M intake. For the most part, very period correct. Did they have a skunk tube manifold back then already? They did, right? No.
Yeah, that's
they
been
did.
on the car forever, dude.
Oh.
Not the first one though, because I think the first one didn't have a logo.
Yeah, I didn't have a badge on it.
Skunk Works.
Yeah.
Before they got in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that's been on it forever.
Damn.
Probably time for a new one of those.
ITBs, dude. Make the car less fun to drive.
The Vortex supercharger.
Oh,
to go like full period correct.
yeah.
Will you still be able to use power steering with that?
Yeah, it hooks up to that.
Oh, it hooks
Oh.
Yeah, it hooks up to, it basically replaces that bracket.
Oh.
And then it goes over.
Yeah,
It has like a big rod that
Yeah, exactly. It's like sits right here. The intake comes up right here, and there's that rod that goes across.
intercooler that goes right there.
Yeah, the power cooler thing.
Damn, that's crazy. So no drag 3 turbo kit, huh?
No,
With a-
Edelbrock.
With a giant tile wastegate.
Wasn't it Delta Gate?
Yeah, the Delta gate.
Drag T3, T4 turbo.
that was the turbo back then.
Spear flow intercooler.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to cut a bunch of other stickers for it, but I couldn't find any of the logo because it's so old. Like I wanted to find like an AC Auto Technic sticker. Or like
scan the
yeah.
ads in the paper. And
Yeah, a lot of Illustrator tracing.
Yeah. The import show-off one was the last one that I thought of, just because I was just like, oh, I already have that logo, because I was cutting stuff for Ken back then. And I was like, that's kind of perfect.
Speed options.
Yeah. Speed options one could have been bigger, but I mean, I'm cool with it. The Daz one was surprisingly easy to find too. Because I think somebody bought Daz Motorsports after they went out of business.
Daz was the distributor for racing, right?
And then they ended up making the RH Evo wheels, which was the non-Japanese racing hearts.
I always thought these ones were the Japanese ones for the longest time, but they say made in the 7
Yeah, well, they're also one piece too, right? Yeah, these are the later ones because they had the engraved spoke. The original ones had stickers.
The other ones were 3-piece.
3-piece with sticker, yeah. That's the main giveaway. But
C5.
these are better than the ones with the RH caps though. Like that's when it started getting really gaudy.
Yeah.
And they had the Daz Matisse wheel. Like they started coming out with their own stuff, and we're like, hey man, we don't want this. Stop making your own stuff. Yeah, Spreewell. Yes, they did later on. Yep.
It's crazy how he's the one that invented spinners too.
Yeah, what a guy, dude.
Now he's broke.
These mirrors weren't available back then though. And it was probably pretty difficult to get a Shift Sports hood back in the day.
What mirrors was on RJ's car? RJ's car?
I'd have to look at the picture.
Like
Homage?
Style mirrors maybe?
I mean, we could just Google it. Oh, look.
I had those for a little bit, the like M3 ones, but they weren't actually M3 mirrors.
Oh,
yeah, I remember APC. Yeah.
Oh look, just because I want to see photos of Francine D. So let's see. Oh yeah, he had those.
M3. I thought one was blue.
When it was blue.
Because everyone knows the car as it being yellow.
Yeah, not my favorite stage.
Oh.
I don't know. The picture is so pixelated. They're definitely not like spoon mirrors. Cover, that's the perfect cover, dude. The coloring and everything.
Like even the green accents.
Yeah. I tried to get an STR sticker too, but I couldn't find it. That logo is kind of difficult to find these days. Like hose techniques.
Well, Autobody, does it say 2020?
Yeah, 2020 Autobody did it. I mean, Auto Explosion did this one, so.
This whole window with stickers.
Yeah. In the yellow stage, it had TVs in the engine bay. So.
A little much.
Yeah, that was when you know that he had done too much to the car already. When he was getting that Haynes sponsorship.
How many people did that car inspire?
Yeah, dude. People have no idea, man.
Inside the vent.
Yeah. That's what we were missing too, a monster tack. Damn. Okay, so finished up the shoot earlier tonight. Hung out for a little bit with Sean and Dur, and then Jen left a little bit earlier because she had to get home. And then I came back and had some dinner and then started going through the photos. I was going to wait till tomorrow, but I'm just anxious because I really wanted to get this done and I have a vision of what I want to do. So I had everything kind of lined up already. So I figured I'd give you guys kind of a glimpse at what I've been doing. So I started out with like a bunch of base images. And then here's the original photo. Actually, here's what it looks like untouched. So this is the completely untouched image. Tinkered around with it a bit on Lightroom. Got to where I wanted it to be. Some minor retouching. And then so I moved it over to Photoshop. And here's where I'm currently at with the import tuner cover layout that I wanted to do. I think it's pretty close. Like it's pretty spot on to what I wanted. And it's pretty spot on to some of the original import tuner covers. I have a whole stack of them. Like, these are actually my original import tuners that I collected over the years. So I have quite a bit of reference material. And I've been going through it the last couple of days, just trying to get the logos down, the placement of everything, and the colors. Because the cool thing about the import tuner covers is that the logo is always themed to whatever car and whatever the model was shooting. Whatever model that was being shot and what car was being used, they would always match the logos to the colors of the car and the outfits. So I think I've nailed that. And then we needed to do a little Meguiar's Easter egg. This month happens to be the hot rims wheel tire cleaner. So I attached that up there to make it look like it's like a magazine review type thing. This is what I actually started out with. I started out with the cleaned up image, and it's like pretty high quality, so it's huge. But so I did that, and then I mean the studio walls are pretty easy to manipulate just to make it look like it's a white background. That's the beauty of shooting with an infinity wall. And then I managed to get the import tuner logo, and then I recolored it to make it match Jen's outfit. The car is easy to match just because it was black, and then I even did the silver graphics for it. And man, I had no idea how great the graphics were going to be, because I almost we were kind of hesitant to do it because Sean isn't really a big fan of putting stickers on his car. So I convinced him to put the Racing Heart ones on the door, and we're just like, let's just put it on for the shoot, and then we'll just take them off right after. So like right after we finished the shoot, we took all the decals off the glass too. But it made such a huge difference in trying to get that look, you know? So I got an image of the Meguiar's hot rims wheel and tire cleaner that I was going to use, the barcode, because every import tuner cover had the same barcode layout. And then I went and added the border, made up a fake date, made the barcode look like a magazine one, even though the original image doesn't have that. And then there's always a Max Boost. I don't know if you guys remember the Max Boost comic. They're still around. They're doing big things now. But there's always a Max Boost little insert circle thing on the top corner of the logo. So I made sure to incorporate that too as well. This isn't the finished product. I'll have their finished product on Instagram once it's all done. It'll be out probably before this video even comes out. But yeah, here's where we're at right now. I clean up everything so it's all white, and then here's a logo. Match the fonts here to match the bottle of the Meguiar's, the Max Boost, as I said. The funny thing about this is I've numbered it issue number 6 because I was talking to Dur when he went back home to the Bay Area. He went to go visit his parents, and he was going through his stack of import tuner covers, and for whatever reason he's missing issue number 6, and I don't know if that's like a typographical error on the publication company's part, because during that time they were transitioning over from Prime Media to what company was it? Anyway, it was transferring over to a different publisher. They've done that over the years, but for whatever reason the issues jumped from 5 to 7 and 8, and there's no 6, and then I think for issues 5 and 7 they ended up using the same Max Boost image on top. So there must have been some sort of error during the transition there. So I figured it's I'm all about details and stuff. So the funniest, the most random Easter egg that you can find is that this is going to be an issue 6 cover, because in Dur's world, issue number 6 doesn't exist. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. Overall, I think the shoot came together very well. I have a lot of different images. It's just finding the correct one for the cover was difficult, just because of the way the car is positioned and the way Jen poses. It's hard to kind of get both car and model in the cover correctly, how they had it laid out. Also, because the studio space I use is relatively tight, so it wasn't easy trying to get the light situated so that even with soft boxes, or even with those beauty dishes, they were still casting big reflections. So I had to Photoshop a lot of that stuff out of the car, because it also doesn't help that Sean has a black car. Even though his car is perfect for the shoot, it's black, and the paint is very reflective, so it was just like a mirror. So it was a lot of work today, and so far I'm pretty happy with how it's coming out. And I have to add all the text on the bottom, and once it's all done, you guys will see how the project comes together, and I think everybody will be pretty happy with it. Man, in terms of doing this project and digging deep into my creative bag, it's it's there. I'm deep in it right now, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about 2010s and 2020s for the remaining 2 pieces for the project, but so far from 80s to 90s to 2000s, I don't want to sound crazy, but I've killed that shit. This is good. This is good stuff. And people that appreciate my work, appreciate what I do, and appreciate my level of insane detail, I think I think this really speaks to my body of work. And, you know, shit, I guess you could say my legacy too, you know? It's there. Like, I'm really happy with how this is coming out. And originally, with Jen putting on this outfit with this neon green yellow top, I wasn't really stoked about it. And I told her, like, me and Jen are friends, so she's always been really cool with how blunt and honest I am. And when she had the outfit, I was just like, dude, this ain't it. Like, I don't like it. Like, the other outfits, the red and the blue outfits were better. And then so I only took a couple shots of the neon top, and of course when I got back home, this ended up being the perfect image for the cover that I wanted, just because of her positioning. The colors pop with the logo. So I'm gonna go through the blue and the red outfits some more, and maybe I'll find something better, but I'm like so deep into this particular image already, laying out the cover, that I'm pretty confident that I'm going to stick with this one. So, man, sometimes I feel like I gotta trust my gut, but sometimes I gotta give stuff a chance too. Like, man, I don't know if I got lucky with this one, or it just works weird at sometimes how things work, but I'm stoked about how this is going, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So what I'm going to do now actually is I'm going to lay out a bunch of old Import Tuner magazines, and then I'm going to put my cover, the one that I created, on top, just so it'll look like it's in a giant pile, you know? And I think the cover that I created was realistic enough where it will blend right in with an actual real cover, so that's what I'm trying to do now, just to make it all look really seamless, you know? And I think it'll be really cool for like an image for the project, just to show that the thing that I created is exactly spot on with something that was created back in 99 to 2001. That's specifically the era that I was going for, because these are like their newer covers that came out in like a decade later. They look very different. They're much more modern. So I was going for like the early 2000s Import Tuner look, which is something like this. This is the one with Sharon Soto on the cover. But this is the look that I wanted, exact look that I wanted, and I'll always remember Import Tuner for looking like this, just because that's what I grew up reading and that's what I grew up enjoying. So the cover that I created is like a tribute cover, and I wanted everything to be as close as possible with all the details and stuff. And I think you guys will see it when it's all laid out. But the thing I have to do now is I'm laying the magazines on top of each other, and I have to... I'd rather just like get a piece of paper. This one's already been trimmed slightly because I've been playing around with it, but a regular sheet of paper is 8.5 by 11, right? If you notice, back then the magazines are not the same size. Like the later ones were actually more true to paper size, even though it's still not exact. I had trimmed the paper for this one to fit this one, but as it turns out, the older ones are slightly shorter in size, so I'm gonna have to retrim it. And that's why even when I do post the cover, it's going to look a little bit compressed to you, but that's because that's how old magazines were. The older Import Tuners were like that, where they weren't true to normal paper size. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of measure it out. Yeah, see, like an older Import Tuner is like 10.5 by, should be about 8, I think. Yeah, it's 10.5 by 8. The newer ones are not. The newer ones are slightly bigger. They're oversized, so they're almost 11 inches. So it's almost true to paper size. But then the width of it is not 8 inches, so it's still a little bit narrower and taller. So I don't know what happened, and I don't know why it changed. Maybe the binding or whatever. But what I'm going for is the old look, so I'm going to go with the old measurements. And the reason why I'm putting a piece of paper over it is because I want it to be true to the cover size, so that I can actually apply it to a magazine and then lay it on top of the stack. So that way it doesn't look like I'm just like photoshopping and dropping an image onto an existing photo to make it look real. I want the magazine to cast a natural shadow, just because when I shoot it, there's going to be somewhat of a shadow somewhere, just because that's how light works. So this way, I can use this white piece of paper as a frame of reference to lay the cover on, and I can get that natural shadow in the photo. So it'll be pretty cool, I think. So we'll see how it goes. Here's the magazine scattered out onto the floor. Pretty much, I would say about 80% of the Import Tuners that I have access to from my own collection. And then I have these two LED flashes here to light things up. just to get rid of the glare and stuff. I think it'll be pretty cool. You can see that white piece of paper that I use as a reference point for the photoshopping and stuff. So getting the post-processing done is actually quite easy for this one. I already have all the magazines laid out. I already edited this particular image in Lightroom just to clean it up and get the colors to match just the color grading to match the cover that I created. So here's all step by step. So I open the file and you can see that it has the white base already. And you can see why I needed it, because I wanted to cast this natural shadow instead of adding it in post-processing, because I don't really like adding shadows in post because it just always looks unrealistic to me. And if something looks unrealistic to me, then for me, like, even if my audience believes that it's a real thing, it's like anytime I look at it, I'm always going to look back at it and know that it's not real. So we open that and then paste the image onto the image on top, and then it's pretty basic. It's just a matter of rotating. I like to adjust the opacity on it just because I can see the grid and I can see the edges, and then it's all a matter of manipulating it to match the actual physical shape of what I wanted for that base layer. And then for this one I added a little bit, I don't know if you can see it here. These are all steps that I already did, I'm just showing you again. So you can see how clean the image is compared to, I mean, there's also a little bit of depth of field here just because of the way I shot it. And then this image is really clean just because, you know, it was shot separately. So I went ahead and added some texture grain to it just to make it look, I don't know if it makes out on the camera, but you can see even in the real magazines, once you physically actually print something, you're going to see texture grain just because it's paper. So here I added, here, let me see if I can zoom in more. You can see how I added texture grain to it just to give it more of like a real feel that it was printed, even though it actually wasn't. So you can see how large this image is too. Like it's crazy huge. But yeah, so I added the grain there to give it more texture, even though you can't see it. And then when I post it on Instagram, honestly, the image becomes so small that it's going to eliminate a lot of details, so you're not going to see the grain anyways. But it's just for me personally, I would just prefer to make it look as real as possible. And then some minor color balancing. And then the thing is with this image being so sharp and so clear compared to the image that I have, where it has a little bit of depth of field to it, so it has a little bit of blur and lens blur to it, I went ahead and blurred it a little bit more just so it'll take away some of the detail while still retaining the grain, and it just like dulling the sharpness a little bit so it blends a little bit more. So that's the final image that I'm sticking with, and I think it looks pretty legit, really. Like, slightly brighter, but it's just hard because of the depth that I had shot it at, and then there was two LED strobes shooting that way, so it's not gonna look like exact, but from a distance and on Instagram particularly, it's gonna look like it's real. So, and I'm just trying to go for that realism there, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think this looks good. It looks like anything that would have came out in 1999, 2000, 2001, you know? I think all the little details are there, and all the minor touches that I added to it to make it look as real as possible, I think it all flows really well. So yeah, that's it, folks. Don't pickup day. Time to get this thing home.
I have your
double bump one?
Are these my shoes?
Yeah, those are yours, not mine. Unless you want to trade.
You want them?
No, I'm just saying.
You wear a size 9?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Take them. I don't want them. I don't wear these. I thought they were just here to hold these visors up. You can have them. Just clean them. I probably never even wore them, dude. I only wear Yeezys now.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, you had that. The double. Yeah. The bottom was.
Sorry, we're close.
So you got that first.
I was on the bike.
It's all done now. Just gotta put everything back together. excited to finally have the car back so we can finally start doing some work to it and putting all the stuff that I've collected for it over the last few months. So, I mean, if anything, that means more content, so that's good. But I don't know when we're gonna get started on it, but probably fairly soon, just because I'll have some free time coming up pretty soon and try to get the car ready so it's all together in time for Week Fest Los Angeles. But that's not until October, so the car should be long done by then. But yeah, man, just happy to have the car back. So pretty stoked about it. Kind of want to get the wheels back on, get the car looking good again. So much stuff to put on, but yeah, it's been a long road, just say that.